All right, folks, we've gone so far over time here. I'm sure the studio people here are really ready to throw me out. But we are going to take a couple questions from the chat board since, over 1,000 of you are already in there and you've been asking questions or whatever. We're going to take some time to field a couple of them. Chris Lee's got her hammer of justice over there. So, Chris Lee, what do you judge?
I have, and I've been yelling at all our chat boarders that if you keep copying and pasting the same question 25 times, I'm not going to pick it.
You heard it from Wonder Woman.
I'm not going to pick it. Okay, so Ryan M wants to know, we're getting ready for Oscar time, so what do you guys think do you guys think anything but Gravity or 12 Years a Slave will win Best Picture at the Oscars this year?
Yeah, I'm not even sure how much of a chance Gravity has.
Yeah.
I think it's 12 Years a Slave. I think Her is getting a lot of attention.
American Hustle is getting a lot of love too.
American Hustle, Saving Mr. Banks is actually getting some attention. I'm not sure what I wouldn't even put. I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But I wouldn't put Gravity in my top 3. If I had to put money on it and rank them as to what I think has the best odds of winning, I don't know that I'd give Gravity a top 3. I think it's probably going to be 12 Years a Slave. It's funny. This morning, the Online Film Critics Society actually put out their annual awards, and 12 Years a Slave swept. Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. It swept a lot. I think Best Adapted Screenplay as well. It totally swept. So, I think it's probably going to, at this point, I think it's 12 Years a Slave. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't actually want Gravity to win for Best Picture. I want it to win for effects and lighting and sound and all of that.
And maybe directing.
And directing. Alfonso Cuarón is
Alfonso did an amazing job with that.
As great as it gets. But there really is such a formula to who's going to win Best Picture. I mean, the Academy loves underdog films. They love historical films. And that's what 12 Years a Slave is. And it's our history, our painful history right here on our soil. So... Not
Except
to mention
for us Canadians
Steve
who were more
well,
enlightened.
you're not part of this.
I just want to point out that one of the
Yeah.
heroes in 12 Years a Slave was a Canadian. I just wanted to point that out.
You just had to, but it really does spell Academy. And Steve McQueen as a filmmaker is just so amazing at evoking emotion and just paralyzing you. And the performances and everything, I think, as a whole film is just so strong. But there are a lot of other great films out there, but that one seems to be the front runner right now. And I wouldn't be disappointed.
And momentum can change. I mean, honestly, people get sick of my sports analogies, but honestly, the Oscars is a lot like a sporting event. There is momentum shifts.
Yeah.
Things can go back and forth, so we'll see where we are as we get into January.
Fruitvale Station and The Butler. They came out several months before, so now people aren't even remembering what amazing films those are. Same with Prisoners. All these other films were released more recently or are still being released. So they're the hot children right now.
I think Prisoners will get a lot of attention.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, but Prisoners to me it's not an Academy film. It's more of like a good thriller.
I thought the acting was superb.
It was, but honestly, to me, it's not in the same rank.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me, but 12 Years a Slave is going to sweep it. I mean, there's really, I loved Gravity, and yes, I agree, it's going to get the special effects. It will win that, and it was amazingly well directed. But,
superbly directed.
12 Years a Slave is better directed, in my feeling about it, just because it emotionally crushed me and was so moving and such an incredibly well-made film. Like, some people question the longer shots or the longer takes, and it's how you create an emotional scene, and it's how you create a feeling.
It's art.
It really transcended cinema for me. So I mean, that alone, I feel like it should just win everything.
All right, we were way over time, but we're going to take one more. We're going to take one more.
Because I know there's 2 video game guys at the table, I thought this question was really interesting. Rue Pereira says, question, do you guys think if video games movies followed exactly the plot from the video game, they could be any better?
No, and I've been saying that for forever, no. I mean, everybody likes to argue with me, but I'm sorry, you're wrong. The narrative in 90% of video games feel perfect for the game because the main point of a video game is gameplay. That's what you have to make great. If you want to get people hooked on your game, make great gameplay. And really, ultimately, when you look at the narrative in a video game, when you really break it down into a synopsis, it's not enough to flesh out an entire movie. A lot of people say, yes, it is, yes, it is. No, it's not. There are exceptions. But generally speaking, that's the case. So no, when you do a video game adaptation, you have to adapt it. You have to take the spirit of the game and then apply it into the best movie you possibly can. And I think if you just try to go literal for it, you'll get the people who are really faithful to the game, but that's not enough to make a hit film. So anyway, Schnepp, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you just watch the cutscenes from any of those Call of Duties, they're great, but they're also 2 minutes. So, I mean, if you like used any one of those Call of Duty cutscenes and put them all together, it's maybe 20 minutes. And it's like a fragment of a story because it's all about you. And you were captured, now he's trying to get the information onto your next mission. I mean, most of the times I'll skip cutscenes if I'm playing a video game because I just want to play the game. You know, I'll watch cutscenes later, like on YouTube or something. I don't want to watch it while I'm playing the game. I'm like, all right, I know. Let's, you know, you kind of know where you're going. So I agree. It's like when it's being adapted into a film, you have to bring in all those like little characters and then actually make them characters and not just like icons.
Amy Rose?
Yeah, I think it's middle ground with every piece of content being adapted to the big screen, from comics to books to, you know, I think that to video games. I mean, we are obviously the two Chris Lee was talking about because I am a big supporter. I think there's a lot of amazing narratives and content and games to bring to the big screen. But, you know, the filmmakers need to make the judgment call, and a lot of things translate. They have to make decisions that are going to work better on the screen than they did maybe in the game. So it's about the happy medium, but it's also about pleasing the fans of this franchise that help elevate these games to the level of success that they are. So they can't disregard everything, or it's going to piss off a lot of people, but they have to make important filmmaker decisions that wouldn't necessarily be in the game. So it's all about the happy medium.
It's a transformative medium. There's a lot of people always use comic books as an example, like, why don't you just take the comic book and make that the movie? Like, use those panels as it's already done for you. It's all storyboarded, and it's like, it doesn't translate. There's thought bubbles. In that one panel, there's like 11 paragraphs of the dude's inner thoughts. It doesn't work that way. So.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news, and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.